Thank you, Madam Chair. Mr. Attorney General, welcome. Good to see you again. Thank you for the trip last summer where you had an opportunity to kind of get a little summary on the ground of some of the law enforcement, public safety issues that we face primarily in rural Alaska. I appreciated that Chair Murray had highlighted murdered, missing Indigenous persons. The work that your teams are doing, working with us in Alaska, is very, very important. Also appreciate the keen focus here in this committee and the subcommittee on fentanyl. I wish that I could say we're far enough away that we have escaped, but our smallest of the small rural villages are being targeted because you can sell this poison there for 10 times more in a village like Quinnahock or Togiak than you can in even Anchorage. So we all need to keep leaning in on that. Back to the issue of tribal justice. When you were there, we had good conversations. I think that was very important. We've seen some measurable progress on cross-deputization agreements between the state of Alaska and tribes relating to law enforcement. We've got the Not Invisible Commission report recommendations that are giving us a little bit of a template here. But I am a little concerned in terms of the follow-on from your visits insofar as what more we can do to address the public safety issues. We've asked for some updates. We haven't gotten a lot, and I don't want to be in a situation where these villages, whether it's Galena or Huslia or really any place, feel that you came, you saw, and then there hasn't been the follow-on. We've got a lot of work I think we know that we need to do to implement VAWA 2022 and the Alaska Public Safety Pilot. So I would ask that you and your team can provide us with recommendations for improving the funding opportunities for our Alaska Native communities in the short term here. If we can do this within the next 30 days, that would be great if you have legislative proposals. But we want to keep the momentum going. I know that you committed to me. Your teams are working on that. But if there are legislative proposals, again, we want to try to put some of these in the pipeline.
Well, we're very happy to do that. I will say that it was a real eye-opening experience for me, as you told me it would be. To be on the ground there and to see the difficulty of transportation between one village and another, and the difficulty law enforcement has of reaching a village, and the really inexcusable fact that there really isn't sufficient law enforcement in any of the villages. I can give just one update. I would say as a result of my visit, I've been pressing for money for special tribal jurisdiction. And this budget request includes a plus $14 million from FY24 for special tribal criminal jurisdiction. And I would say it's a consequence of what I saw in Alaska.
Well, let's commit to working through some of these specifics going forward. One of the other things that I have heard is as our tribes are looking for federal financial assistance, not only in the public safety space but in others, they have been directed to entities for technical assistance, but it's technical assistance that is from the lower 48, perhaps maybe not culturally responsive, or geographically relevant to many of the issues that we experience there. So, I appreciate what the department is doing to try to help bolster the capacity of tribes and tribal organizations as they're looking to gain access to some of these grant opportunities. But it's something that I'd like your folks to look at, because this again is a big challenge. If you're talking to somebody who has no idea that we don't have, for instance, reservations in Alaska, and the construct of the the governance just makes it that much more challenging. So I raise that to you. I want to comment very quickly on what Chair Murray had raised about the Crime Victims Fund. You outlined the benefits of it, but I will tell you, I am very, very concerned that we're going to be in a situation where if additional fines, fees, penalties from other sources aren't redirected to address the shortfalls, so many of these organizations that just are working so hard, they're burning out, they can't deal with this year-to-year challenge because they simply don't have the resources. And it's not only in the Crime Victims Fund, it's the impact that we're seeing with our child advocacy centers. Many of our COCs have been using additional funding for their base operational costs in addition to VOCA cuts. So you've got VOCA funds that are being cut, you've got the CACs that are hanging out there. It is really a tenuous situation. I know you know that, but we really need to have identified some kind of an offset for this $7.3 billion that's proposed to replenish the crime.
Now, there is a proposal, if I have time to respond now, I will. I totally agree with you. This trying to depend on the amount of money we're able to get in any particular year is always going to be uncertain. The administration's proposal in the budget, I don't think there's legislative text yet, would take effect in 2026, provide $7.3 billion in mandatory appropriations over 5 years to replenish and stabilize the fund. I think that's better than the way we're doing it now, year to year. And so our staff would be happy to speak with the staff of the subcommittee and your own staff as well on this proposal.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Senator Murkowski. I understand, General Garland, that you're okay to keep going.
Sure.
We don't need a break, so let me ask Senator Peters to go next.
Well, thank you, Madam Chair. Attorney General Garland.